I'm a big believer in feeding supplements. I believe that with our changing landscape and the lack of diversity we seem to be experiencing now, and just the variability in weather and all this, that the consistent inflow of nutrition into these colonies isn't quite what it should be. So one way to address that issue is to be providing supplement to our hives. It's the same thing we do in the rest of the farm. To grow crops, we provide fertilizer to grow that crop. To feed cattle, we provide them with a feed source, and we supplement the feed to ensure that food source is balanced, has a balanced profile to provide them the nourishment they need to grow. The same with honeybees. You have that nutrition coming in as pollen, and whether or not that pollen has a balanced profile or not, or whether or not there's enough pollen coming in, we have to, as beekeepers, ensure that there's enough nutrition coming in to maintain and keep these colonies developing and moving forward. This year it was to the extreme. You've seen in my earlier videos my colonies. We had to start feeding August 8th, which is 2.5, 3 weeks earlier than typical. I was feeding them sugar just to keep them alive and provide them energy, but my pollen flows ended also, and it was very important for me to make sure that these colonies had enough nourishment in their nest to be able to develop their brood nest and keep them moving forward, because August and going into September is a real critical time for bees to build and maintain and develop their winter nest to get them through winter. So there's no pollen coming in, so I had to make sure there is enough nutrition there for them to develop their nest. And the bees were doing a really good job. They built these massive nests in August, and I had supplement on top, and the bees were just devouring the supplement and translating all that nourishment down into the brood nest. They formed just fantastic nests, except the colonies quit brooding early this year. It's probably because there was a lack of pollen. The lack of pollen, the bees aren't as motivated to, the bees just don't build brood without pollen in their nests. And that's exactly what happened this year. The bees went through one cycle into their second cycle. Without pollen, they built these nests. I had supplement on, and then they just quit because there's no more pollen left. Everybody's asking why I continued to feed supplement at that time, even though it wasn't stimulating and growing that nest. And a very important fact here is when bees, so what I was doing with the supplement feed at that time, the supplement wasn't going into developing that fall nest. There was no more brood laying. It wasn't translating into building bees. But as those bees emerged, as those winter bees emerged, they engorge on protein. In at least 5 days, those bees will consume a protein source to put on fat, to build the resources within their bodies, to be able to get them through winter and then redevelop that nest into spring. So I'm very confident, even though things are shut down early on me, even though it looks like Mother Nature is progressing like Christ. There's 20 miles north of us, they had a foot of snow. Like feels like we're drifting into winter pretty quick here. So these nests have developed into their nice little winter clusters, and and I was lacking nutrition all summer to build these winter nests, except I had nutrition on these colonies in the form of supplement, and these colonies have built fantastic little winter nests. They just absolutely look brilliant, and I am confident these colonies are well developed, and they're going to go through winter, and they're going to come through spring and flip themselves into this fantastic spring nest, and I'm going to move forward.